Schweigel case. Here are the facts. We'll start with telling you that the defendant took further action towards the plaintiff for causing injury and loss of wage.
The plaintiff was employed as a peace officer with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
The plaintiff's duties include investigation and enforcement of provincial and federal status.
The defendant's statement to the plaintiff said he could make 90% of his pain go away, but missing 10% shows there was a chance the operation might not be completely successful.
If Dr. Lee had not volunteered to check out what the plaintiff's problem was, he would have continued to receive complimentary treatment for his back pain.
The decision for this case was made that the plaintiff lost because he had passed the limitation period.
From the Omni News, my name is Jeevan Mahil. We've got some breaking news from the BC Supreme Court. Mr. Boys is up right now doing a live press conference, so we will take you.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Boys?
Okay, you in the black?
How and when was your back injury sustained?
My back injury was sustained in 1979 due to an on-job car accident. Next question.
How many times did you visit Dr. Schweigel, and what was his final decision on what needed to be done?
I had met Dr. Schweigel on 2 occasions in 1988. The first one being on May 4th, the second on June 15th. His diagnosis was that he recommended at the time surgical intervention at the L5 level of my spine. At that time, he had told me that he knows what is wrong with my injury and that 90% of the pain will go away. Next question.
Approximately how long after the surgery did your pre-surgery symptoms return?
It was about 2 weeks after my second surgery, which was on August 29th, 1988. Next question.
How long after the symptoms returned did you decide you were going to take further action?
It was about 4 years after when my family physician referred me to a number of medical specialists, and one of them included Dr. Lee. And on November 17th, 1992 was when I decided to take further action. Next question.
I have a two-part question. First being, did you know a limitation period existed?
No, I did not know.
And second, were you aware that this operation left a chance that your back would not be repaired?
Yes, I did know there was that 10% chance that it would not be fixed. Next question.
How many other specialists did you see, and did any of them suggest a gill procedure?
Yes, I saw about 5 specialists, and Dr. Lee was the only one that actually had told me that Dr. Schweigel did not do the gill procedure right. Next question.
Did the council mention Schweigel's statement that claims, in a year you'll hardly remember this operation took place?
No, the council did not, but as I recall, Dr. Schweigel did say that.
2, 3. I have one last question.
Sorry, no further questions. I gotta take this call. Hello?
That's all we have for Mr. Boys. Mr. Schweigel will be taking the podium shortly, and we will take you there as soon as it happens. We've just gotten word from one of our reporters that Mr. Schweigel will be taking the podium and will be answering questions. We'll take you there right now.
We have Dr. Schweigel here taking questions, so if you have any, please raise your hand. You in the green?
Mr. Boys was taking action against you for medical malpractice. Do you believe that you had done something wrong during the procedure?
No, I feel the procedure went very well. Everything went correct.
You in the black?
The plaintiff stated that he guaranteed that his back would be better than before. Is this true?
Yeah, I said it would be better. I even told him that there was a 90% chance of success, which is really high, so I was pretty certain in that. But that also implies that there was a 10% chance that it would not go correctly, so he knew that as well before he took the surgery.
You in the white?
Were you confident that the outcome of the surgery would be successful?
Yes, absolutely. I do this for a living, so I had no doubt in my mind that it was good.
Two-part question. How do you feel about the outcome of the surgery and about the trial?
I felt that the outcome of the surgery went really well. Same with the trial. Everything went according to plan. There's nothing in my mind that I saw wrong.
You in the red?
Why do you believe that you won this case?
Well, it just goes to show that with the limitation period, if you don't take it seriously, then you can mess up and everything doesn't go according to plan. So if you don't take it seriously, you just end up messing yourself.
Okay, you in the back?
Why do you believe that you won this case?
I feel that The limitation period and the act helped me out a lot because it goes to show that if you don't take it seriously, then it can change the outcome of the case significantly.
Okay, you in the right corner.
Do you believe this trial will affect other people's decisions to visit you for surgeries?
No. No, I don't, because I'm really confident about my surgeries. I went to school for a long time. I feel like I'm a really good doctor. My surgeries are fine. And like I said, with this specific case, it was a 90% chance of success, and that 110% chance just happened to work out this one time.
You in the front right.
Do you feel like this case went on for too long?
Yes, I do, especially with the limitation period. I feel like there's no need to have a further trial, and the judge just expanded it for 6 days, so that was really unneeded.
Okay, you in the front.
Did you feel any remorse for boys?
Yeah, of course I felt remorse, but once again, right, I told him that there was a 10% chance that it wouldn't go through, and he knew that, so again, I felt that it wouldn't work. Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions for Dr. Schweigel? Okay, that's all. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
We have from the Boys vs. Schweigel case. If you need more information, please visit our website at omninews.ca. Next week we'll be having an article about the judge and why he made the decision for this case.
The Omni News, my name is Javen Gill, and this is Akash Mehra. As promised last week, we have the Judge Harvey interview from the Boys vs. Schweigel case, and we will play that.
Judge Sandro, and this is Judge Harvey from the Boys vs. Schweigel case, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions. So first, what was this case about?
This case was based on medical malpractice. Dr. Schweigel performed surgery on Mr. Boys, and Mr. Boys had gotten an injury while working for law enforcement, RCMP, and Mr. Boys was told before the surgery that there's a 10% chance of this surgery not being able to work, but Boys still went with it, and after surgery, Boys' back was not fixed. Instead, it got worse than it was before. This was due to Mr. Schweigel, who by mistakenly messed up in the surgery, causing Mr. Boys more pain than he suffered before.
Were there any trial restrictions?
There were 2 trial restrictions. The first one was whether Dr. Schweigel met the standard care required of an orthopedic surgeon in 1988 in his treatment and advice with Mr. Boys. And the second one was whether Mr. Boys' claim is barred by the Limitation Act.
What was the cause that initiated the problem?
Mr. Boys was expecting to recover fully from his injury after surgery, but Dr. Schweigel ended up causing more damage and made the injury worse for Mr. Boys.
Were there any other relatable cases?
There were a couple of similar cases, such as Evans vs. Vancouver Port Corporation in 1989, Frosch Construction Limited versus Bullrich in 1995, Crucial versus Firth in 1991, and Novak versus Band in 1998. All these cases are very common and similar to the case I was dealing with.
Can you elaborate on the Limitation Act?
The Limitation Act outlines the set period of time that people have to start a proceeding to sue.
How did you come to your decision?
I came to my decision because of how long Mr. Boys took to proceed in this case. Hence, that's why this case took only a week to determine the verdict.
Are you satisfied with your decision?
No, other than the limitation period, which was the main reason for my decision, I'm very satisfied because there was nothing else that drove me to my decision.
What stood out the most during the trial?
The fact that Mr. Boys took so long with the case because he did not know about the limitation period which existed.
If the Limitation Act wasn't created, would your decision be different?
I think my decision would still be the same because Mr. Boys was informed about the 10% chance of this surgery would not fix his back, so he knew the risk before going into the surgery.
And was there a certain point in the case that drove you to make a decision?
Other than the limitation period, there was no other decision or fact that made me decide this case.
Okay, thank you.
That's all we had from the Judge Harvey interview. Join us next week where Alexandro teaches us how to
Hey
dance.
everybody, I'm Sandro Kuna and I'm going to teach you how to ducky.
Hey, teach me how to play. Hey, baby, like Like, this video